Okay, so Mike, I have a question for you.
All right.
So there are a lot of arts that deal with the idea of center of gravity, balancing, keeping your balance, off balancing others. Arts like judo have takedowns and throws and counters to throws. There's wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling, whatever kind of catch-as-can wrestling, where there are takedowns involved and defending against others' takedowns. And then, of course, all the pinning and grappling that ensue after that. Judo as well, they have pins and things like that. Judo as well. So Tai Chi is a martial art that definitely employs the idea of center of gravity and balance. And so, what I'd like you to speak on, if you could, is how does Tai Chi, in its application, differ from disciplines such as judo or wrestling?
Um, First of all, I think we should look at the actual similarities. The similarities are for being able to off balance the person and then go forth with your application, be it taking them off their feet or taking them down to the ground as well as you follow them through. And those concepts are similar. Um, Primarily, the approach and development of that are going to be different based on their styles. Styles is really going to dictate the path you take to be able to accomplish that. Adding on to that, you mentioned those specific ones, judo and even wrestling to a further degree, requiring takedowns. Tai Chi itself allows you to, explore the aspect of taking down your partner, but the difference context is that you want to stay up on your feet. You want to maintain your balance. And if you want to look at it from maybe a historical point of view, if it was viewed as a battlefield type of art, if you want to use it that way, it would be more likely that you would want to use it to get someone to lose their balance. And if you're thinking about the amount of traffic that will be on the battlefield, it would be more difficult for someone to trample. Right. You get trampled and the amount of activity. So you would want to be on your feet, not get caught up, and because there's so much going on around you. Now, if you take it to another context of this, in the sense of fighting and being able to fight, if you're thinking of the context about in those times, these guys were escorts, bodyguards, and things like that. So you don't want to necessarily get caught up, with one person, on the ground fighting. You want your action to be very direct, very specific, and move on to see what else is out there and be able to assess, with motion, of course. So why, try to get yourself caught up in that. Now, you want to have a skill no matter where you fall or where you find yourself, if you will, in you fighting. So if you don't know and you go to step back to move yourself, there may be a bottle that you lay your foot on and you lose your balance. Right. So then what happens there's all your skill now leave and escape you because now you're on the floor and you can't articulate the things that you generate from your legs. So do the principles kick in to where, very similar, if you want to call it like jujitsu and things like that, being able to manipulate but still be able to do your joint locks or be advantageous in your movement to put yourself in a better position, even if it is to get back to your feet. Those are the things that really should be kind of explored and looked upon, as opposed to trying to keep them separate. As in judo does this, wrestling, even to the point of saying shuai and Chinese martial arts, does this. Tai Chi does this, and therefore they never really cross. And so this is what makes my style better because I focus this way and I look at it this way, and yours does this, and so therefore I'm always going to be superior to yours. Well, you don't go on the ground, so once I need you on the ground, so all those arguments really are moot in the point that if you apply yourself and the principles to all those kind of things, then things can be similar. But unfortunately, the approach to these things keep all these things separate, all these styles separate. And this is where you find this whole expression of my style versus your style and so forth and so on. And this style doesn't develop this because they don't do this. They don't have the bridge framework. They don't have the 50-50 clinch in their action because immediately you're trying to be upright or you're trying to keep your distance or, you can't put your hand around the back or any of these other crazy rules or guidelines that people find that you see you're not supposed to break. Well, tell the person that you're fighting against that they're not supposed to break those rules. Right. And then try to apply your art.
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you can apply these Tai Chi principles in whatever context.
Yeah.
But in a very generalized sense, for someone who might not know a thing about how Tai Chi is applied, what you would say is what makes this different is that you stay upright.
Yeah, I would say if you want to look at a clear definition between those, yeah, Tai Chi is upright art. More so, more dominantly, definitely, on your feet. Obviously, people have experienced situations where they're not, but as a generalization, steady footwork, moving, going from moving step into ballet type thing, learning how to step and learning how to adjust your position for your footwork and adjust your center and being advantageous of yin and yang principles, if you will. This is upright thing.
Cool. I think that's a very good way for someone to understand how Tai Chi is different and why you might want to study Tai Chi, because it will give you this idea of keeping your upright structure. Not to say that there's anything wrong if you get taken to the ground and learn and either applying those principles or learning another art to work from there, but in a very general sense, Tai Chi will definitely help the idea of remaining upright in your combat.
Yeah, and I want to kind of digress about something you guys mentioned about other arts. And you and I have spoken about this. This is from my perspective, even from my understanding of the history of the development of Tai Chi. There's many players, especially renowned players, that didn't just walk in the light of Tai Chi. They had other experiences that they brought along into Tai Chi, other fighting styles they brought along into Tai Chi. And, a lot of folks come into Tai Chi as it is, and I'm one of those people. Luckily, I was able, after the fact, to be able to explore how these things apply to like boxing, to wrestling, to jiu-jitsu, to all these other varied arts out there. How can I apply the Tai Chi principles, or how do I view the Tai Chi principles in those arts? Understanding that it's not unique to Tai Chi because it's body mechanics and on the basic core. How do I move my body? How do I relax my body? How do I make myself into a better position? All those things are in every other art as well. And it may not be blatantly expressed the same way that Tai Chi is done, but the thought process, principle, is there. Right. So how I'm going to apply that principle into what art I'm doing. Now, I've learned how to, I mentioned earlier, that spectrum of being from, I'm learning a form. I know the form. I'm learning the basic mechanics of fighting, which is, punching, kicking, defending, locks, so forth and so on. Now, I want to take this expression of form and taking this full extreme of fighting, and I want to bring them together so that I can marry the two and have a complete understanding of what this expression I have over here, this cultivation that I have over here, and apply it to the basics. Now, the more basics that I understand, going into like combinations, going into back fists, spiraling forward fists, down jabs, throwing hooks, elbows, up elbows, around, kicks, so forth and so on. Now, how do I take that and I want to bring my principles to that to make sure it's supported by my understanding of balance and how to move my body and how to stay relaxed. Now, I want to take my experience of playing with different people, knowing that how a person throws a jab or how a person kicks or how someone lunges with knees. Okay, now how do I respond? What worked best for that now? Weights, heights, skill levels, all the different very things that can be out there. How do I take these two spectrums, these two tangents on the spectrum and make them work and make sure that they work? Not just saying, okay, I know I'm visualizing this thing in a form. Your visualization needs to be taken into practicality and see how it works. If it works, and then what do I need to alternate to make it functional? Analyze it. It worked this time and it worked well because I did this, that, and the other. Tried it on this person, it didn't work well. What was different? What was I doing different? Did I stay focused in my body? All these things have to be there. That's what you have to do if you're going to study the art.
Yeah, this sounds like you say, test it and evolve it.
Definitely. Going back to what I said earlier in our other discussion, did these arts die at the development stages generations ago, or is it still evolving into a thought process where people still can take these principles and think of how to use their body around these principles, that they don't have a attachment to these generations of old where they're not getting this direct translation or transmission of what they were implying through their actions. Because remember, they had their own experience. They had their own skill levels. They had their own, if you will, different styles that they applied to these principles. What if you don't have those things? What if you didn't sit down in your posture for hours on end, holding it, and then realizing, you know what, if I push from this, and if I propel myself from these legs, then I'm going to have this action. Maybe you're doing it informed, but if you never get that explanation or get that understanding of how, now that's how I need to express it. Oh, I can express that when I throw my right. I can push from my right, from my elbow, or my shoulder. So again, form to martial basics. How do you tie those together? But then does your thought only come from what someone has been given or what they thought of way back when? When even then fighting styles, the different styles that they're avoiding against you, different weaponry. So now how do you bring it and evolve? Does it have to stay back there? Are we not smart enough to bring it along with us and be able to say, you know what, my body moves like this, and I'm going to not necessarily create my own style. I'm going to express what I understand from this style in this way because this is the way my body moves. It doesn't move like that. It may not even move like your instructor or your teacher that you're learning from. So then how do you make it your own? And then still be able to cultivate and develop and progress. It makes sense?
It does. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All right.